Hey everyone. Oh gosh, here we are. It is the 21st of July, 2020, and I want to give an update on Bitcoin as I usually do. It's been a while though. Did you miss me? So it's been about a week since I've done any kind of analysis on Bitcoin. I want to talk about kind of what we're looking at in the Discord group, and just kind of paying attention to support and resistance levels and trying to figure out what our count is here. Before I get into any of it, of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You are responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and I'm just giving my opinion on the market. So let's take a look at the chart. I've got Bitcoin on here. I've got kind of an expanded view from for tops and bottoms, highs and lows, lower high after lower high after lower high after lower high, and then we've got a low and we have a little bit of a higher low, potentially another higher low that's being created here. And I think with the pivot, I think we can confirm that we do have a little bit of a higher low, just right on the other side of 9,000 to the upside, that is. Just on the high of 9,000 right around here. I want to take a look at what we've been digging out here on this local count. So, I don't want to get too far in the weeds, but I just kind of want to talk a little bit about where I think things are potentially going to be going, here in the short term. But really quick, our primary count, which is bearish, we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here into a 1. We've got an A, B, C here into a 2. And then we've got 5 waves here into a lower degree, a lesser degree. We've got a 1. And then I think we're working on the 2. Okay, so the big question is the 2 back here or is it all the way over here? I tend to believe that we are in another nested count. It still remains to be seen. I see 5, 3, and then working on 5. Maybe the 5 is already in up here at 94, 47, 50. And that, if that's the case, then we need to break 9,400. We need to start moving down now. We've got this high up here, which I don't want to see this violated. And to be completely honest, this level right here, which is going to be right at 9,500, if we break through 9,500, I believe that is the level in which things shift and we start to see a move to the upside. Once we break one of these levels, then I think the trend shifts. I have this area here kind of outlined, and let me just kind of extend this out a bit because things have kind of transpired since then. We've been consolidating here. When we take a trend line approach, we have our lower high after lower high, and then we had a little bit of a nudge through it, and then we did break through it. We came back down. We went back above it. We've kind of stayed above it ever since, and now we're starting to see this move to the upside. What I'm not seeing though, I'm not seeing significant volume yet, right? So we did have an uptick in volume. I will agree that we did have a little bit of an uptick in volume, but it hasn't been significant. Like I need to see a volume node like this guy way back here on June 1st, right? Take a look at this volume node back here. That's pretty significant. Let me move this over here just a little bit so we can see this. I realize that it's cut off just a little bit. So let's just get this over there. Okay. So, again, looking at that volume node all the way over here on the left when we had that big move to the upside, that's the kind of volume that I need to see. But we have just continually seen less and less volume. And I would say that we really haven't seen a big move as far as volume goes. We've had, a nice push up out of here. But let's kind of dig into this right here. So we've seen the support and resistance levels. We know the importance of this resistance. So what I've been trying to figure out here is we've got 5 waves here, and then we have an A, a B, and then working on potentially a C here. So, and the C is going to be a 5, 3, 5, and then I think this is where we go down. Now, what I don't want to see us violate this. That would basically invalidate quite a bit if we violate 9,500. Historically speaking, we're really, really close to that resistance level, so we're probably going to make a run for it. And there's probably going to be a lot of stops on the other side of 9,500. So really, personally, what I'd like to see is I'd like to see this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1, A, B, C into the 2, and then see a 1, 2, see up here, I can't call this a 3. I can't pull the 3 down here, right? I can't pull the 3 here, have the 4 here, and have the 5 and count this done. That doesn't fit, right? That doesn't work. That doesn't work. So what we now have to do, let me just get this over here and just kind of dig into this just a little bit. So we're trying to finish up is, you know, for the bearish scenario, we want this to be an A, a B, and then working on the C up here, okay? And this is, of course, going to be a little bit of a higher degree, and let's just change the color just for contrast. We want to finish an ABC here, right? So we've got 5, 3, and then it's clear we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1, A, B, C into the 2, and then you can dig out a 1, so 5 waves into a 1, A, B, C into the 2, and here is the problem, okay? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And this is on wave 3. So wave 3 is finished. So from here, what I see is a potential move back down to 93.25. 93.25, and then from there, technically the algo target is all the way up here at 95.25, and again, this would invalidate quite a bit. This would invalidate a pretty significant portion of the bearish scenario. This resistance is currently being counted as wave 2. And if we are going to break up above this, this is no longer a wave 2. We can't have a violation of that. If that's the case, then we're going to have to go back and you know, really rethink quite a bit here. We have to rethink quite a bit. So again, pulling this all the way back, we have a 1, 2 up here, and then a 1, and then potentially this is an A, this is a B, and then we're working on the C here, which would mean that the 2 potentially comes back further. All right, so we would have to, you know, try and dig out a bear case here. Now, again, I'm spot long. I'm spot long. We've been talking about this for a while. You know, I had some bids that got filled back here at about 91, 9,000 to 9,100. I had some spot bids that did get filled. So, you know, I'm sitting okay here. I've just recently opened up a short. I see that we're starting to fail 9,400. Again, I'm not going to be real quick to say that this is the top and we're going down, right? I think that what's going to be a telling case is what happens when we get back to 93.25. If we get back to 93.25, and I think that we will. I think we will. We come back down here. I still think we'll make another run. I would love to see a truncated fifth to complete this C wave. I do not want to see us violate this resistance. I'm just going to pull this out because this resistance is extremely important for the bears, right? For the bears, this has to hold as resistance. We can't violate that. And if we do, we'll come back. But, you know, we're looking at about, you know, what, a $90, $87 stop, you know, as this thing moves up. I had an order that got filled at 94.45.50, which, you know, that was pretty good considering we got up to 94.47. And actually, this is off by 50 cents. But one way or another, I mean, technically the algo target is sitting up there at 95.25. If we do happen to hit that mark, we'll probably go a little bit higher. Probably we will go a little bit higher. We'll do a pullback, but we'll probably go higher. What I want to take a look at here, I'm going to get rid of some of these fib pulls that I've got. You know, we talked about this, why the algo target is sitting up there at 95.25.50. So I'm going to put this up here because technically that's the algo target. I don't want to see us get up there. I want to see a truncation, but you know, it is what it is. Let's see if there's another algo target sitting out there. I'm going to use my trend-based fib extension, which we use this quite a bit. We got 5 waves up here, and then we do the pullback. Okay, and we have a nice hit up here at the 1618 to the 175. 175 hit almost to the tick. That's good for a wave 3. So that fits. That fits. Coming back down here seems logical. And then I do think we make another run, hopefully a double top, and hopefully we don't get a violation of that, probably what I will do is I'll hedge a long position, a leveraged long position down here in case we do make our way and we violate that. So I'll have a hedge long position, assuming we get back down here to this level. Again, I think that we probably will, and I think it will be support in the short term. Taking a look at that 93.25 level, we can go all the way back here, even on hourlies. You can take a look at this and you can see that we've got a nice cluster of support here. We've got resistance here, resistance here. We flew up, we flew down, we had resistance, resistance, resistance over and over. We hit resistance here, but we pushed through it. So now when we do a retest, a proper retest, we should see a move to the upside. So, again, bears, I think, are, at least for right now, still in control, even though we have seen a move to the upside. Shorting up here, the risk to reward, it just made sense. It made sense to open up this trade, even though the indicators are telling me that I probably shouldn't take the trade. The risk to reward was just good. So opening that at 94.45.50, and I'm just going to put that up there, get as close as I can. To the downside, we're looking at a move all the way back down to like 89. So you're looking at about a 5.7% move, and as far as a risk goes, if you're looking at getting out at 9,500, it's less than 1%. So you're taking a look at a 5.7% gain versus a 0.62% loss. That's a trade that you'd take any day. I think that you still have an opportunity to get into a short position if you're interested in that. You do have to take a stop loss on the other side of 95. Right? If we come back down here to 93.20 to 93.40, I would say that it's probably okay to take a low leveraged small position long down here, and to maybe hedge if that's your cup of tea. Take a hedge up here, not up here, right? Don't take the short at 95 to 95.50, because at that point likely the proper trade to take is a long position. But taking a hedge short position up here at about 94.50, all the way up to even as high as about 94.70, you could probably make that work out. But stop loss on the other side of 95, because that's more than likely going to be indicative of a continuation to the upside. Right now, the risk to reward is in favor of shorts. After this move to the upside, if we take a look at the 12-hour, we definitely know that this often works to our favor. The 12-hour crossed. Let's just find it and show. Again, just talking about the importance of this. The 12-hour crossed right here, which was this candle right here. So you could have taken a long position at 91.46. You had a lot of chop, right? But this continued moving up, and now we've seen this move to the upside. But now we're sitting at 94.10, right? We're no longer in the 9100s anymore. So now the question is, do you take a long position here? I would say wait for a dip and then look to get out or to head short up at that 94.50 level. And I'm still looking for a move down, right? We're at the top of the range, okay? So let me see if I go to Bitcoin on, say, Bitstamp and just take a look at this. Let's go to a higher time frame and let's see what this looks like here. So we'll pull this out. I'm going to go to let's go to a 4-hour time frame. Let's just take a look at the 4-hour block. All right, so again, I was putting the counts on here. So let's go ahead and yeah, taking a look at this, 9,800, of course, is the next level to the upside. But we should have a significant amount of resistance here. Let me actually go to a daily. And I'm going to remove all of this here because I like to keep my charting over there on BitMEX. As far as this is concerned, looking at the daily, man, sometimes taking a good zoom out and taking a look at things really kind of changes your perspective on things. And again, a lot of times when I do these videos, I'm seeing things for the first time. And when I look at this, I see a compression and I see a significant expansion here to the upside. If this sustains today, okay, again, we're looking at a daily time frame. If this closes up anywhere above 9275. Sorry, I guess let's make it 9300. This is significant as far as a continuation move to the upside even. So I am conflicted right now when I'm doing a comparison between low time frame and high time frame, but this does look like a strong move. And let's take a look at the volume here. Yeah, you know, the volume just isn't there. I see this as a low volume move to the upside. Let me see if I've got the traditional volume on here. I don't see it. Let me get the traditional volume chart or volume indicator on here. Let's see here, volume. I just want the built-in volume just so I can see this. Okay. So we know right now that there is, several hours left in the trading session. We do have a little bit more volume today than we did yesterday, but still we're continuing to see a decrease in volume. So, I guess in my opinion, as long as that continues, then I think that the bears are in control. Because we can see that there's just a continued decrease in volume, and when we do have an increase in volume, right? So let's just point that out. Every time that we do have a an increase in volume, generally speaking, it has been selling, 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 and here's another. But still, it's decreased selling. So what I want to see is I want to see an increase in the amount of buying, right, as far as volume goes. And we look like we're working on it, right? So I'm not counting bulls out. And I'm happy to take the loss on my short as long as my spot positions are still continuing to appreciate in value. So again, taking a look at that, if we close the daily above 93, and again, let me just kind of zoom in on this and point out why I think 93 is important. So what I'm looking at here is right in this general area. We'll just kind of go all the way over here to the left and work our way over here. This is about 93.03, right? So taking a look at this, we've got support here. We've got lots of support here. We have some resistance here, and I'd love to see this wick come all the way back down and close under 93. That would be an indication that bears are in control. If we happen to close above this level right here, and let me just go ahead and outline this level right here, we've got lots of clustering over here as well. And again, that's at 94.50. If we close the daily above 94.50, then I do think we can see higher prices. But for right now, we're entering a new range, a range that we have previously been in before, and now we had a move up, and then we had a rejection the next day. So maybe we have that again. I don't know. I'd like to see a wick to bring us back down here. That would make me feel a little more confident in the short position that I have, so that I can target that 88,900, that 88,900 price. But for the time being, we are consolidating, we are compressing, and as far as momentum goes, I would say that it's a 50-50 right now. If we continue seeing some increase in volume to the upside, and we continue to see ourselves consolidating in this upper range, and when I say range, I mean that in the loosest sense of the word, because we're in a very, very tight range. But if we continue consolidating up here, then I do think we can see a continuation move to the upside. And where would that go? All right, so that's always the next question. So where would that go? Well, the bigger question is, this is really, really hard to count, okay? You can dig all different kinds of counts in here. It's just really, really messy what we've got right here. It's not clean. It's very hard to get a really good count there. What this looks like, right? This looks like the end of the first move up here. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So if that's a 1, or even if it's an A, right, from down here, if this is an A, then this B this was too small. This would have to be the C up here if that's the case, because again, you've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. You've got, and even if you counted this as a triangle or an A, B, C here, you still have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get up here. And then, of course, the next question is, does that technically make sense? All right, so if we take this, we pull it from the bottom, we have our A, we have our B. Did we hit a good target to the upside? No. No, we didn't. We'd have to hit like 12,700. Like, yeah, we had resistance here at the 618, but it just doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel right to me. Even if we take this all the way back here and we pull it from this guy down here, so if we pull it to there, we almost have equality there, right? That hit almost perfectly. So that seems like that could work, but the problem is does that make sense for that to be the A here, this to be the B here, and then for this C to just take forever? It doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right. So I'm just going to stick with what I was discussing before, going back to an hourly time frame. Let's go back to BitMEX. Going back to this, right? I would still like to see a move back to 93.40 to 93.20. Then we can see a move to the upside, and I'd like to see a truncation there. And again, just keeping an eye on our resistance up here at 9,500. We violate that, then I think we go a little bit higher. So short term, this is what I'm looking at. I just went through what my long-term view is here. It's very complex. We're compressing. It looks like there wants to be a move to the upside, but I want to see a rejection. And that rejection needs to happen today or tomorrow. But if we go up above 9,500 today or tomorrow, then I think we go higher. I think we break out, and I think it's going to be a quick move. I think that's when volume will kick in. For right now, there's a little bit of an uptick in volume, but it's nothing significant. Nothing significant. So I'm not too worried at the moment, but we'll just have to wait and see how things go. But that's all that I've got for right now. I talked for about 8 minutes longer than I really wanted to. So if this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And if you want access to our Discord, if you want access to the indicators that I use when I do my analysis, join our Discord. Just throw in a comment in the YouTube chat, and I'll be more than happy to get an invite code out to you. And of course, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, a good night, good evening. Stay happy, stay healthy, take care, and we will